What's going on, you guys? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to unpack the newest character addition here in Marvel Strike Force, being the leader. He is joining the respective Cabal team, in addition to Iron Patriot, as well as Namor rework. We're going to be seeing a lot of value from the Cosmic Crucible setting, which is where this team is actually slotted in. So as you can see here, guys, he's got a lot of value he's going to be providing actually to his fellow teammates, including the new villain allies that you want to synergize with. Definitely a great opportunity for theory crafting for sure. We'll see that likely when we do the breakdown, but as well, more specifically though, in Cosmic Crucible, battling in them specifically is going to help give villain allies the additional HP and armor by a notable 50%. It's pretty massive to make some irrelevant characters meta once again. So that's definitely what I really like about this team. But as well, him actually being a Gamma character as well, so he can actually get slotted into a Gamma team with Red Hulk and so forth. So definitely great to see that this character can be utilized in just more than one game mode, and always interesting to see this addition. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Red Star Orbs, just because we do have the promoted 15% additional bonus to get a higher red star on him, but as well taking a look at his kit, the T4 recommendations, and what his potential ISO-8 could be. So always before you open anything, make sure that the avatar is showing, as you can see, and some of my fellow alliance mates have already started opening up for the 7 reds, and that's usually what we go for as well, now that the red star economy has basically dwindled in terms of just getting more of these higher unlocks with the orbs that we have amassed. So we got 44 of these 7 reds, and when you don't land the 7 red, you're likely going to get another shot here. So a great way to bolster our roster, get duplicate credits and so forth. Hopefully in the future there's a better way to kind of recycle this, but until then, you can see it's just basically us rinsing and repeating until we get upgrades on our team, or as well the character that we're looking for in this case, which is leader. So there's going to be some upgrades here, as you can see. Surprisingly, I haven't got a 7 red of him yet. Yeah, but yeah, this is why. It's basically just a process of landing him, and then there you go. Boom, 7 red, easy peasy. So yeah, I am a fan. It's nice because these new character additions now, you're basically guaranteed to 7 red, unless they're upgraded in other means, such as the dark promotion credits. So let's start taking a look here, guys. So basic ability, calculated shot, attacking the primary target for 80% damage as we level this ability. And I do like how they've added the ISO-8 attack now, so you can see that this is obviously going to be the mechanic involved. He gains stealth, so that's nice to know. He's going to have some natural protection. His basic actually does heal himself, a villain and Gamma allies for 5%. So what I do like about this is that it does apply outside of just Cosmic Crucible, so he can be used in different game modes. There's going to be the stealth for 2 turns. He also does cleanse negatives as well from him and villain allies with that heal, and as well gaining an assist from a random Cabal or Gamma ally. So this is where we're getting a little bit of that synergy with Gamma, but as well getting additional attacks. I do like the assisted attacks, especially when we know Iron Patriot and Namor are going to be doing a lot of damage. So I think this T4 is definitely worth noting. Let's take a look at the special, ultimate, and passive before we make that assessment though. Seek and Destroy special ability. So applying regen to himself and villain allies. He's going to be attacking for percentage damage. This gets increased. He also calls on one villain ally that has the highest damage that does not have assist to attack the primary target. So I think this is just involving the fact that you have additional strikes now to bring in that DPS, even though he's a support character. Regen's going to get applied as well. This ability also heals. So the higher red stars that you have on him is going to be more notable because it is based off of his HP. If he does have 2 or more Cabal allies though, it does prolong the duration of positive effects on himself and villain. And again, I like the fact that it's not just focused on Crucible. This is going to be applying in outside of those game modes, right? So obviously here, this is the big one, the T4 here, calling 2 villain allies to attack primary target. And specifically in Crucible, there is going to be Safeguard that does get applied. So this is really worth it, in my honest opinion, even just recalling the 2 villain allies, because that additional strike could really clean up and finish off your enemy. So obviously you can maximize it with usage in Crucible, but I still think this is a good T4 for special. Ultimate is Mind over Matter, attacking primary and adjacent targets. This is also going to be inclusive of a barrier here and giving villain allies another 5% of his max HP. Wow, he's just healing all across the board. This is a very strong supportive character. Speed up to himself and villain allies. In Crucible, he's going to be generating ability energy to him and all villain allies. Additional damage being added, counters, speed up, more barrier, and finally, the T4 here actually clears revive once from primary and adjacent targets. So this is almost kind of like Red Hulk's special ability, where he just goes down the middle and those revive once are going to get cleansed up, except it's pretty notable, guys, and it's ultimate ability. That's amazing. And on top of that, notable increase in damage and generating 3 ability energy. This is a must build, must upgrade T4 for this team to thrive, but as well giving Leader a really good control here when he utilizes his ultimate to rinse and repeat with his special. And then last but not least, 2 steps ahead here. So on spawn and on turn, he's going to gain a charge up to a maximum of 50 charges. Okay, so the last time we've seen something similar to this is a Cyclops' mechanic. But what's interesting here is for each ally with a different class. So in this case, the 5 classes being Blaster, Brawler, Controller, Protector, and Support. For each Cabal ally, for each hero ally, enemy, gain 2 charges instead. So every 5 charges, he's going to be gaining crit chance, critical damage, and as well block chance for himself and all villain allies. That's pretty notable, guys. It's just giving them additional support, really. So the more of these different classes you have, it's going to add that up, especially for the Cabal allies. It's going to be more notable as well. Additional HP and armor, which we noted earlier as well, but villains are the ones that truly shine because they get amazing value from having Leader in Crucible with them. So if you guys are not planning to build up Cabal at all, Leader's basically the linchpin, right? He's going to make your team pretty notable. I believe it's Iron Patriot that brings the damage aspect, but with Leader, he's going to make them essentially relevant again in terms of their armor and HP. So this is a must-build character if you are planning to bring up Cabal. As you can see, he's going to also be applying evasion on top of the HP and armor, but as well defense up on spawn. And then whenever any character or any Cabal ally does drop below that 50% threshold, he's going to be flipping disruption, stealth, and defense up and adding that barrier just to give them a little bit of extra protection. And this is where the villains get an additional boost here as well. Finally, the T4 on spawn applying Safeguard once again to himself, all Cabal allies, and until this character takes a turn. On enemy turn, bury yourself and all villain allies for 10%. It's pretty massive, guys. So every turn it's going to stack up. So having him slower is actually, a better thing because the more characters that's faster than him, he's going to be gaining additional barrier. And as well, once again, the enemies with vulnerable cannot gain Safeguard. So I think this is where they're going to truly shine with having Leader because he's going to ensure that they can't gain that following that vulnerability getting applied and making his team even stronger, especially with the offensive output from there. So I feel like obviously it goes without saying this is a top tier Cosmic Crucible team. If you are bringing them up for Crucible, I think all of these abilities are actually worth T4ing. If you are not planning to bring them into Crucible at all, you just want another all-rounder team, then for sure I think the passive is still really good here because it does still give the additional value for villains, right? The ultimate ability here, declaring revive, is a must-have, especially with the ability energy. I think this is probably the only one you can skip potentially if you're not bringing them up into Crucible because the additional villain ally does make sense, but it's the safeguarding here with the special that makes sense. And then finally, I really like his basic as well because again, that gain assisted attack, not crazy, but that additional attack does help. So you want to save T4's, the ultimate and passive for sure, and basic and special as needed for your guys' supplementation. Finally, I do want to point out though, because he's going to be a very strong supportive character, keeping him alive is going to be pretty pivotal. I think either a fortifier or an ISO-8 healer does make sense just because you're going to keep him healthy. Many of his abilities are based off his HP as well, so it's just going to be fueling that. If you want to be applying additional vulnerabilities for the team, that can definitely be possible. I can see him being a skirmisher in that respect, so that way he can at least land his debuffs more consistently, but he is more of a supportive role character. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. Prelim analysis. Hopefully we get some more information on how this character is going to be joining the game, but hope you enjoy this. Good luck with your rest Star Orbs as well. Always exciting to see new characters and teams, and cannot wait to try this out. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.